Hello, welcome to Here We Go. In this lesson, let's talk about how to avoid complicated josekis when you occupy the corner first. So, your response, of course, will depend on how your opponent approaches your corner, but usually when you occupy the corner, you are in control, and it's much easier to choose a joseki that is very simple. So, let's talk about the 3-3 invasion first. So once again, the 3-3 invasion at the beginning of a game was extremely rare before 2016-2017 because it was considered not a good move for black to make the 3-3 invasion this early on in the game. I will not show you the outdated joseki, but many amateur players online are still playing the outdated joseki, especially lower level players. So you want to be careful about which josekis you use. But now let's say you're white. You occupy this start point and now your opponent jumps into the 3-3 point. What should you do? Right, so usually you cover from one side or the other, from this side or this side. Most of the time, if you're an amateur player, if you want to build, say, the left side, then you cover here because black cannot come in very easily from 5, right? You kind of covered 5, and black can only crawl on this side. Let's say if you want to build the upper side, then you cover from here, and black will crawl here. But usually, right, because you have a white stone on the lower left, you want to build the left side. So usually you would cover on this side. For most beginners, this is easier to master, easier to play. And then black will crawl on this side. So now white has 3 choices, A, B, and C. These are the only 3 correct moves that white has in this situation. And some are more complicated than the others. So what I would suggest to avoid any complicated patterns here is to play the simple extension. And now black has a few choices as well, A, B, and C. These are the variations that you're going to see. Most of the time, you're going to see A or C. So if black plays C, plays this nice move on the second line, then this joseki is over. Congratulations, you just learned your first very simple joseki. So what happens here is that black has more or less taken the corner, although that could change with some more complicated variations. But for now, black has the corner, and white has built a pretty solid wall, right? These 3 stones are connected. You don't have to worry about being cut off, and it's pretty strong, right? These 3 stones have a lot of liberties. Only 2 liberties occupied. It has a lot of liberties, it's very strong, and it's looking to build the left side. So as an amateur, it's good to follow up with a move here on the left side to reinforce the 3 stone wall. But in this local joseki, we can say that white has sente, and that is a very important concept for every local fight and for every joseki. You have to ask yourself, who has sente? What does sente mean? It doesn't have a really good English translation, or at least I haven't seen one. It means that the local pattern is settled and one side is free to go elsewhere. So here the local pattern is settled and white is free to play elsewhere. So white has sente, and the opposite of sente is gote. So here black has gote, right? So when white has sente, black has gote. White has sente here, and you can reinforce the left side, and that's how you can successfully deal with this 3-3 invasion early on. Of course, there's also this move, and what you can do again is just the simple extension. Of course, you're going to learn from others that you play the bend or this. B might be slightly worse according to AI, but you're not an AI, you're a beginner, and you want your pieces to be connected to be strong. So as long as you play here on the 4th line, you should be good. And now black can do this, and once again, white has sente, and white can play elsewhere. But then you might ask, what if black continues to crawl? Then you just continue to extend. And this brings me to another point, which is crawling on the 3rd line at the beginning of a game is not a good idea for black. Why? That is by human experience. Because you're only surrounding 2 points with each move, and that's not good enough compared to the potential that white is building toward the center. So black, if you're black, you definitely do not want to crawl on the third line like this. This will significantly decrease your chance of winning. So at some point, especially here, black definitely doesn't want to crawl again. Black want to come out, right? And you might ask, why doesn't black have sente here? Can black go elsewhere, like this? The answer is no, because white can seal off this group in the corner. So although black can probably live like this, but white has potential on both sides now, on both the left and the upper sides. So that's not something black can accept, to be sealed off in this tiny corner where white has so much potential. So black must come out to contest the upper side, right? So white cannot have potential on the upper side. So black playing here is really important. Now, once again, white can just play here to build the left side. So here it is, simple extensions against the black 3-3 invasion. This way, it may not be what you see in other joseki tutorials, but this is something very solid for beginners to play, and it's very easy for you to master. Of course, there will be more complicated variations that will cover, but Michael Redmond also covers a lot of the 3-3 variations on his channel. Of course, most of those are probably not for beginners or lower level amateur players. I'll share his playlist below and you can check it out for yourself and see if you like them. But it might take more time for beginners to fully understand what he's saying in those videos. So I'll be back with more. And as always, thank you for your support and thank you for watching.